8% Corp. The film will be titled The Huntsman. The spin-off will allegedly feature Chris Hemsworth reprising his role as the Huntsman from Snow White and the Huntsman, and Charlize Theron will apparently reprise her role as the Wicked Queen despite her character suffering from a slight case of death in the first film. What is now official, according to the trade, is that Kristen Stewart will not be back as Snow White. Sadly, this was the plan all along. There was conjecture in late summer 2012 that Universal might go forward with a sequel to Snow White and the Huntsman sans Snow White after pictures surfaced featuring Miss Stewart and the film's director, Rupert Sanders, committing romantic indiscretions. Sanders was married while Stewart was in a relationship with her Twilight co-star Robert Pattinson. In truth, Universal had talked about a Chris Hemsworth spin-off before the first film even opened. Universal successfully sold Snow White and the Huntsman as a female empowerment action fantasy partially on the drawing power of Kristen Stewart, all the while plotting to toss her out of the franchise in favor of a male-centric spin-off. Snow White and the Huntsman is not a very good movie and Kristen Stewart is not very good in it. She's better in The Runaways or Adventureland. But the film opened to $56 million on opening weekend in June 2012, very much on the strength of the notion that it was a dark and gritty Snow White reimagining that had a great trailer. It was a dark and gritty Snow White reimagining that starred Kristen Stewart. The too expensive picture, $170 million, ended its domestic run with a solid $155 million and a pretty decent $396 million worldwide. Without discounting Chris Hemsworth fresh off The Avengers and Charlize Theron as added value elements, the film wouldn't have made as much money as it did without an actress with Stewart's mainstream drawing power. Love or hate Twilight, but the series created a large and rabid fan base for the once and future indie film actress, and that was the fan base that helped propel the action fantasy to $56 million on opening weekend when official tracking said something closer to $35 million. Kristen Stewart delivered but basically lost her job to a man anyway. Had the film bombed, she would have taken the brunt of the blame, and the failure would have fueled the notion that female-centric would-be blockbusters can't be counted on to deliver at the box office. It was a hit, and they are still gender-swapping the franchise. In an industry where the success of The Hunger Games means that Liam Hemsworth gets his own star vehicles, where Transformers, Age of Extinction's Jack Renner will surely get more opportunities for leading roles or meaty supporting roles than Nicola Peltz, and where the initial reaction to the success of the Twilight saga was I am number 4, it's Twilight, but told from the guy's point of view, it is worth noting when a hit Snow White film results in a sequel sans Snow White. We all complain about the lack of female-centric franchises in Hollywood. We got a pretty successful one 2 summers ago. Yet said franchise is being retooled so that Hemsworth's male warrior can have the center stage for the second go-around. Kristen Stewart was a big part, if not the main part, of why Snow White and the Huntsman opened so well. The notion that a spin